When I was little, I used to think that Conrad would appear out of thin air if I was thinking about him. I didn't know if it was fate or a coincidence. I just knew he was always there when I needed him.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who's B, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 7. Let's get into the video. So this episode was basically the last hurrah between Belly and Jeremiah. This is their bachelorette party, you know, basically a couple days before their wedding. So everybody's going to Cousins. You know, Steven's going to Cousins. Denise, you know, tagged along, went to Cousins. Taylor, Annika, they're all going to Cousins. So they're going to have a little party at the little summer beach house. Basically, everybody up there. So after the whole surfing accident, you know, Belly, she's like, you know, Conrad's in the house. He's getting hurt all the time. Always basically running to his rescue. But now that, you know, Jeremiah's here, you know, she has like that buffer. She's like, you know, I was just stressed. Like, you know, she has that buffer to not really like, you know, act on her feelings for Conrad. So everybody's there, and then, you know, they're having a party, you know, Conrad and her trying to have a chat, but then, you know, you see like Jeremiah like kind of peeping that they're like, you know, being friendly. So anyways, you know, so he later in the episode actually talks to Conrad. He's like, you know what, you've been taking care of me all my life, and you know what, now I appreciate that, but now me and Belly can take care of each other. Like, you understand that, right? Like, basically, like, letting him know, like, yeah, stop, like, you know, taking care of Belly or helping Belly. Because he was like, oh, you know, when he was away at Boston, he was basically taking care of Belly. He's been at the summer house basically taking care of Belly, making sure she's eating, you know, vice versa. So it was like, he wasn't really there for Belly, to be honest, until the weekends. Like, literally, he's like, oh, I'm busting my butt, you know, working for my father, Okay, whatever. So now he's kind of feeling some type of way because Conrad was always there helping Belly, taking care of Belly at, you know, the Cousins beach house. So they're having their bachelorette party and everything. You know, we have this whole storyline with, you know, Taylor and Steven, like, if they will get back together. You know, Steven trying to have this whole friend situation, and, you know, Taylor, she wants to get back together with him, but she wants to be this kind of, like, cool girl, like, you know what, we can be friends, we can be good. So she's, like, trying to be his wing, you know, man, woman, whatever, to try to help him get with Denise. So it's just, like, thence doing what Conrad did in season 2. When he, you know, when Maya basically said that he loved Belly, and he was just like, you know what, you can be, you know what, I'm gonna take back what I said to Belly in the motel, and you could basically, you know, be with Belly because you can treat her better or whatever. So she's saying like she always thought Steven will leave her for a girl like Denise, and so she's trying to be his wingman. And I mean, I don't know. It's really all up to Steven if he wants to get back together with Taylor, because you got, you know, Taylor's mom butting in, basically saying like, oh, Steven's yours, you should be with Steven. I don't know, the whole storyline between it is just like, it's really all up to Steven if Steven wants to be with her or not. So yeah, back to, you know, Conrad, Jeremiah, you know, Belly situation. So they're at this bachelorette party, everybody there, Jeremiah and his frat guys or whatever, they're, you know, doing all the boy stuff, going to bars, whatever, clubs, whatever, you know, having their last hurrah for real. So before, you know, things were happening, you know, she like stopped Conrad and basically was like, oh, did you talk to my mom? Like, were you the reason why she decided to come to my bachelorette shower? And he was like, yeah, I talked to Laurel. So like her realizing like, oh wow, Conrad actually talked to her, like he really, you know, once again, like looking out for me or doing something for me. He's like, he said something like, I want to make sure you get everything you ever pictured. So then she went to the club having flashbacks of Conrad while she's dancing to music, getting ready to marry his brother. She's having flashbacks of her and Conrad when they were younger. And I'm just like, for the people who thinks that like Belly and Jeremiah, no shade, no tea, was supposed to be endgame, it's been said from like the beginning, even if you read the books, like it's supposed to be Conrad and Belly's, story. It's been said from like time. And the thing is that Jeremiah, before she turned pretty in season 1, he never really, cared about Belly like that. Conrad really cared about Belly. And the thing about it is, in season 1, he was off. He wasn't like his normal self that he always is. That's why Belly loved him in the first place. He tried to think about like why, Belly should be with someone like Conrad. Like, because in season 1, he wasn't like his normal self. He was dealing with a lot of situations, obviously. So it's kind of like, the whole situation that happened in season 1. And, obviously since season 2, he was dealing with his mom's death, So it's just kind of like, you're wondering, like, whose story it is. It's definitely Belly and Conrad's story. Like, that's why they have the most flashbacks, or the only flashbacks, because it's been their story. She only ever pictured marrying Conrad, getting with Conrad. She never really thought about Jeremiah until the motel, where he took back, saying that he still loved her. So she was just like, well, and if you really if you really take, like, account, because Conrad took back that, saying that he didn't mean that in what he said in the motel, he was not an option for Belly to make a decision between. Belly only had to make a decision between if she wanted to be with Jeremiah or not. So that's really it. She only had to, because Conrad was not an option after he took it back, and it was like after he heard Jeremiah was like, oh, he loves her too, whatever. So he decided to be the big brother, the selfless one, and be like, you know what, since you make her happy, and I feel like I might make her unhappy at a point in time, whatever, you know what, I'm gonna, like, basically, you can go pursue her, I'll take myself out of the equation, basically. So Belly kind of was just like hurt by that decision, but she's like, you know what, Jeremiah's there. So therefore, in the motel situation, Jeremiah was the only option between these two, if she wanted to be with him or not, because he took himself out of the equation. So back to the, their bachelorette night, whatever. Jeremiah is drinking. They made a plan that at the end of the night, they're going to, be, like, they're not going to drink too much because they want to be sober enough for the morning. Anyways, Jeremiah was drinking heavily. He spilled his drink on Conrad. Then Conrad goes to the bathroom. He overhears the frat guys basically saying, like, oh, Jeremiah has been with this Lacey girl in Cabo. So Conrad doesn't know, like, oh, Belly already knows about this situation. He doesn't know this. So he was, like, so hurt and upset about this, because, like, Jeremiah's basically filling the role of his father. His father was a cheater. He cheated on Susanna. So it's just the fact that Jeremiah, cheated on Belly. Like, he's, like, very, like, hurt, offended, everything, because he doesn't know Belly knows this. So he's, like, was so hurt, he left the club, left the bar, whatever, went to the beach. So, and Jeremiah's drunk, whatever. So, back to the club, we got Belly over there crying in the bathroom. Taylor basically consoling her, basically saying, like, she's basically freaking out. And like I said in my previous videos, I was just like, why would you withhold telling Jeremiah about, seeing Conrad during Christmas if nothing happened? Like, why would you withhold basically such a minor detail about, oh, I just saw, Conrad at the cousin's beach house? Like, why would you withhold that information? And then, like, you feel like you were doing something wrong because you withheld that. So then you're telling Taylor, and Taylor's like, so did anything happen? Like, no. So, like, and she wants to tell Jeremiah. Like, why would you tell Jeremiah that now? Like, what was the reason for you to not tell him in the first place? Like, that was an important situation.
I never even had a dream wedding. It wasn't like this. Not with the dresses and the flowers and I never pictured any of it. I only ever pictured Conrad. Why did you lie? No, okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're okay. To tell Jared.
Just like the signs are there that Belly does not feel 100% there with this wedding at all. Also, the fact that, they were at the, beach house, and, Annika was like, who's single around here, and da-da-da-da, and they're like, oh, Conrad's single, you should go for Conrad, and you got Taylor mouthing to Annika that, yeah, no, don't go for Conrad, because, there's, like, heavily feelings involved between her and him still there.
Me, how hot Conrad is.
I'd go for him if he wasn't Belly's first love.
No, you should do it.
So just like it would be a bad idea for her to even, you know, try to pursue him in any shape or form. You know, so anyhow, you know, Belly, she's still with the plan that she's going to meet up with Jeremiah at the beach, whatever. She goes to the beach. She sees Conrad there. And Conrad's at the beach. She's like, oh, you know, I'm looking for Jeremiah. Where's Jeremiah? I don't know. Jeremiah's drunk, da-da-da-da. So he's like, you know, Belly, come, you know, sit with me, talk to me. You know, just have this infamous scene where he confesses his feelings to Belly, finally, like, for real. So, because, you know, before he even does that, he tells Belly, like, you know, Jeremiah cheated on you in Cabo. And she's like, I already know. And she's like, what? Like, what do you mean you already know? Because, like, you would dump him, you dumped me for less, and then you still with him after he cheated on you. Like, to be honest and be for real, Belly broke up with him at prom because, you know, he was out of it. He forgot the corsage, da-da-da. You know, obviously you should have communicated his feelings better and what he was going through. But it's just like, she broke up with him after prom. Then when it was his mother's funeral, accused him of moving on with another girl even though he was grieving. And, you know, obviously the hotel situation, you know, him taking it back obviously was the big thing. But just like, for less. She broke up with Conrad for less. But, you know, Jeremiah cheated on you and you're still with him for why? And you're marrying him for why? So he's just like, who are you? Who even are you? Why can't you just live together? Why can't you just, like, hold on? Like, why do you have to have this summer wedding? Like, we still need to answer that question because, like, what's going on here? You're gonna marry him, go back to school, and live together while you guys finish up your college career. Okay, what's the rush in getting married? Like, I understand if you were done with school and it's like that's the next best, you know, next thing in life. But you're not going to Paris because you want to be there with him. You're getting married by the end of the summer. For what? And mind you, this all happened because Steven got into that car accident. Like, let's be for real. So you're only marrying him because Steven got into a car accident and it's like for death situation. And it's just like, you know what? Life is short. Let's just move on. But it's just like, do you want to spend the rest of your life with someone who cheated on you? And who's barely like, and the thing is that, you know, while Conrad's having this love confession, she's just like, oh, never be what Jeremiah is to me, da-da-da-da. And it's just like, Belly, are you so serious? Like, are you so serious right now? Like, basically, he's pouring out his heart and soul to Belly. Like, you know, he always loved her. He always thought about her. He lied, basically, about taking back his feelings about loving her in the motel.
Don't marry him. Don't marry him. You and me.
Like, everything, you know, obviously the timing sucked because it's just like, it's literally a day or two before the wedding and you're waiting till now to basically say this. It's kind of like, come on, Conrad. Like, you could have said this the entire time you were in the cousin's beach house. I don't know. Like, you could have said this a little bit longer ago. But he didn't. But, I mean, obviously, you know, it is what it is. He did confess his, you know, feelings to Belly. You know, Belly's already having second thoughts about this wedding. So now adding that to the mix is just kind of like, whoa. Like, what do I do from here? What do I go from here? Obviously, she stormed off, told off Conrad. Then she cried. Came back to the beach house. She saw the bedroom that her and, you know, Jeremiah is supposed to be in. And, you know, he's over here passed out drunk. So then she decides to, you know, go to the bedroom with Taylor. And she's like, you know, share the bed with Taylor. So I think that's her room because she, at the end of the episode, she knocks on the door to basically, like, confirm, like, see if, like, Jeremiah's still awake. And, you know, but obviously he's passed out drunk because, like, that's her way of, like, knowing that, like, everything's okay or whatever. And, you know, he does not knock back. So it's just kind of like, that's your confirmation that, like, yeah, Jeremiah's not the one for you at all. So Jeremiah, he decided to take the full-time job offer that his father gave him to work at the firm. So Connor's, like, basically telling him, like, you know, like, do you have any goals or dreams? Like, you've been in college for, you know, 4 years now. You don't know what you want to do. Like, you just want to walk in the footsteps of your father. And just basically foreshadowing, I mean, everything that happened this season is basically showing, like, hey, you're basically turning into your father. literally. And the thing is, I don't know if anybody saw this one edit where they were like, Conrad does not want to be like his father, so he changed and he like, tried to be like more like Susanna. And then we have Jeremiah, he wants to be like his father, and he's basically kind of like his father. He cheated. He's not trying to work in a full-time job. He's barely there. He's just working. No time for the family life. And now he's gonna work full-time with his father in Boston and do his school classes online. So what is Belly staying at Finch for? What is she staying at Finch for? She could literally take a semester to Paris, because if you're gonna waste her time and work at Boston and do your classes online, what's the whole purpose of her not going to Paris? Like, what's going on here? But anyway, the episode was really sad, but obviously it's really an upward climb from here. We have to jump over hurdles, but we're coming to an upward climb in these last 4 episodes. So with that being said, can't wait for episode 8, because I feel like episode 8 is about to be like, woo. Like, we're about to be on top with episode 8, but obviously Belly knows that she's lying to herself about her pursuing with his wedding, her not feeling anything for Conrad, because before the love confession, she was already thinking about the whole situation, like, oh wow, having flashbacks of him. So it's kind of like, oh, now she, after he really confessed, like, now she's like, whoa, should I even continue this? And we'll just have to see in the next episode. But anyway, guys, this was episode 7 of the Summer Return Pretty Season 3. And if you guys like the video, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns. And subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.